Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 225 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. There's a matter I need to bring to your attention, and I'm going to address it right now. It is an urgent matter. It is a serious matter. It is no laughing matter. There's a subsection of Gooners on the internet that have downvoted and ratioed me into oblivion, and I'm not happy about it, and I'm going to talk it out, hash it out, and get back at them right here, right now, episode 225 of Verbal Graffiti. They didn't know who I was. Now let me step back, set the scene, describe what happened, because I believe I have to. I don't know, but I'm pretty confident most of you don't frequent the subreddit Jigglefucked. Is it safe for me to say that? How many times have you been to the subreddit Jigglefucked in the past year? Probably not as often as I do. I'm there weekly. Some would say 5 to 6 nights a week. I'm not always hawking my dick loogie to Jigglefucked, but that's usually my starting point. Right? There's this subreddit called Jigglefucked. As you can imagine, jigglers. It's a humorous term, slang term for big busty ladies. D cups and above. So you go to this subreddit and it's short, like red gifs under a minute of top heavy ladies fucking, or usually fucking on top, all different positions. You get the idea. But everyone, babes with jigglers. That's what this subreddit is about. So I'm there, and as you know, I've said this. I've said this too many. Sorry, I'm in my head. I'm a little flustered because when Gooners come after the B-Man, I see Gooners and Goonettes as my people. I'm a Gooner, they're a Gooner or Goonette. We're kumbaya. We should be loving each other. We should be backing each other. Those are my brothers and sisters to my left and my right. Let's go to war against the non-Gooners. So when they come after me, I take it as a stab in the back. So if I'm a little, if I fumble my words more so than I usually do, that's why. Because when you get stabbed in the back by the people you think are your brothers and your sisters, it's hard to have all your thoughts formulated. Okay? So this is the situation. I go there, usually when I'm actually gooning, I'm talking edging for hours on end before I bust my nut, hawk my dick loogie. Usually Jigglefucked subreddit is not where I'm getting it. Usually Jigglefucked is if I'm in a pinch. If it's late at night, it's midnight or 1 a.m. and I have work in the morning and I'm just all horned up. Gotta get the devil juice out of me. I'll get a quick, and for me a quick is usually a half-hour session of wanking myself. That's quick for the B-Man. I'll go to Jigglefucked and start there and usually end up back there. But you go, if you know, you don't, or you go to Jigglefucked or some subreddits and usually there's no sound. So you have to open up the red GIF that the poster got the GIF from and put it in Reddit. So you open up the red GIF and then jerk off there. Because if you're jerking off without sound, like, I'd rather jerk off to my thoughts. Like porn and smut without sound, I can't do. I need sound. I need moaning. I need a little bit of dirty talk. Because you see the B-Man, I'm a little bit dirty. So I'm there. And if you frequent a certain subreddit for your smut, if that's if you're a regular at whatever subreddit you go to get your nut to, you'll see the same females, videos, the same actresses, the same smut stars you'll see the same ladies in the same subreddit day after day, week after week, and you get it. So I know who a lot of these babes on these gifts on this subreddit, Jiggle Fucked, I know who they all are. And if it's someone I don't know, like, I get upset. All right, let's do some research on the net. Find out who this is. I don't need ChatGPT. If there's a new smut star that I see, I'm going to find out who it is myself. I'm not going to ask ChatGPT or Gemini. But this wasn't that case. This was a lady I knew. All right, I've hawked my dick loogie to this lady. That's how much I respect her. That's how much I love her and her body. You know, because she gets naked, and you know, that's what smut is. And her name is Angie Faith. There's probably a good chance you don't know who Angie Faith is. Probably don't, because she's mainstream, but she's not super duper popular. Again, we're on Jiggle Fucked. We're not on browsers or the hub. We're the road less traveled. When you're on Jiggle Fucked, that's the road less traveled. All right? So there I am. Her name is Angie Faith. If you don't know who she is a generic brand Kate Upton. They look very similar to one another. That's who. When I first saw her, Angie Faith, I go, wow, Kate Upton. And if you're wondering, yes, I did watch the video years ago of Justin Verlander shooting his dick loogie on Kate Upton's back. I'm that kind of guy. If there's a celebrity or a sports star and there's a leaked video, the B-man's going to watch it. Make of that what you will. All right. If my moral compass isn't up to your moral compass, go suck a fat one. All right. This is about the B-man. All right. So I'm watching this video of Angie Faith. I've been a fan of hers the last couple of years, and I'm watching this video a couple nights ago, and I've noticed she's gained some weight, and I'm not happy about the fact that Angie Faith has gained some weight. Now you should know that Angie Faith has always. She's never been petite. Again, I like busty, curvaceous, voluptuous ladies who do smut. And that's the danger zone of smut. I like tiptoeing that line. Because when you're into that type of babe, there's a very, how shall I say this? It's a danger zone, because you can easily go from voluptuous and curvy to chubby. I don't like chubby. I like curvy and voluptuous. But the line between the two, chubby, voluptuous, is blurry. Now, my voluptuous might be your chubby, but I know where my line is, and Angie Faith is getting dangerously close to chubby. I'm a fan of her, so I know her body, and I know that she's gained some weight the past year. And I was a little jarred when I watched this gif of her on Jiggle Fucked subreddit, and I made a comment. Now, when I made a comment, it was not a mean-spirited comment. I commented under the gif on Jiggle Fucked of Angie Faith fucking that Angie Faith, she needs to lose 20 to 30 pounds to get back to her prime smut condition. And then under that, I commented on my comment with the comment, still would, obviously, which means, yeah, even with the weight gain, the B-man, I'd stick Mr. Perfect in her unprotected if she allowed me to do so. Now, the Gooners on this subreddit were not happy with my comment. They're simps. I got downvoted. I got over 50 downvotes, which is a lot on the Jiggle Fucked subreddit. Usually, when there's a post, usually no more than 5 to 10 people will leave a comment. Usually, there's less than 3. Usually it's just a video and a link to the red GIF. So to get 50 downvotes, That's unheard of on the Jiggle Fucked subreddit. Unbeknownst to these Gooners, though, I'm not just an anonymous poster or commenter on smut videos. I'm the B-man. All right. And I got a platform on the internet, on YouTube, podcasting, and I'm not hiding my face. I am a proud Gooner. I'm not ashamed of who I hawk my dick loogie to. I'm not ashamed, and I will give my opinions. And if you think you're going to downvote me and shut me up, I'm the B-man. You can't shut me up. All I do is talk about smut. And you're not going to downvote me all you want. Because I'm coming over the top on verbal graffiti, and I'm going to defend my position. Because I believe my position is correct, and everybody who downvoted me on the Jiggle Fucked subreddit is a simp. And they're doing more harm to Angie Faith than they know it. They think they're defending Angie Faith. They are not. They are enablers of Angie Faith in her weight gain. Now, a lot of you will say, you'll side with the Gooners who came after the B-man and said I should not talk about a lady's weight on the internet, on a public forum. Now, I would agree with you. A random babe on the internet, on the street, I'm not going to talk about her weight, especially if I know her and she's gained some weight. I'm not that mean-spirited of a person. If someone's gained weight, I make note of it to myself. I don't say it out loud. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. But again, all these Gooners were upvoting her video, telling her how hot she is, Angie Faith that is. And yes, she's still hot. But if they were being honest with themselves and they were fans of Angie Faith and the body she had last year, 24 months ago, they would agree that she's gained some weight. Now, let's get to the argument that a Gooner should not be allowed to be critical of a smut star's body and or appearance. I fundamentally, at my core, as a Gooner, disagree with that. I disagree. I hear this argument all the time from smut stars, porn stars, ladies who fuck on camera. They tell us Gooners, us Johns, that they're athletes. What they do is athletic, and they should be treated as such. Well, if you're an athlete and you want to be looked at as an athlete, I'm critical of my athletes. I love the New York Yankees. If a Yankee goes 0 for 20, I'm going to be critical of him. I'm going to call up the radio station, WFAN, and I'm going to whine and bitch about how the Yankees should trade him. If Jackson Dart has a shitty game and can't complete any passes and takes 5 sacks, yeah, I'm going to go on the Giant subreddit and say he sucks and we should draft a new quarterback. All we do to our athletes, we're critical of them. If a player comes to training camp out of shape and he's lollygagging it and he's puking in buckets, I'm going to be upset that he didn't come to training camp in shape, ready to go, ready to kick ass. Right? When you're a porn star, when you make smut, when you create smut, you're making money with your body, with your soul, with your sneeze, and all your jigglers. Whatever it is you got, you're selling it. That's your moneymaker. To Angie Faith and any other smut creator, you're making money with your body. So when you let your body fall apart or get beyond or not in its peak condition, I, as a consumer of your body via the screen, I should be allowed to say my opinion. Now, what I said was not mean-spirited. I said it to help Angie Faith. I don't know if she knows. She probably does. Right? She's probably let the lifestyle of the little bit of fame that she has on the internet for her body and fucking on camera. She's probably let it go to her head. She's probably living that lifestyle, eating a little too much, going out to dinner a bit too much, having too many calories, letting her body loose a little bit, enjoying the fruits of her fucking and the money that comes with that and the fame. And I'm here to tell her, get back to the gym. Get back to work. You make money with your body. If you make money with your body, you got to keep it in tip-top shape. Now, for her, she's always curvaceous. She's always voluptuous. But she's teetering on the doorstep, on the waistline of chubby. And she's going to lose a fan if she goes that route. I don't want her to go that route. I want to hawk my dick loogie to Angie Faith now and a year from now and 5 years from now. But if she keeps going the way she's going, gaining the inches around the waist, when she's doing it doggy, and you could see the belly, there's the behind camera. Yeah, you don't love that one because you see the guy's butthole, but then they do the up camera and you see the belly kind of hanging a little bit more than it should. And you're like, oh, is that her boobs jiggling? Like, oh no, that's her belly. I can't hawk my dick loogie to that because I respect my dick loogie, right? I respect my nut. We've talked about this. The problem with these other gooners, they'll goon to whatever they want. They'll give anybody their nut. They'll simp to them on the internet, tell them how hot they are. I'm the only one keeping it a buck, keeping it above board. They didn't know. Those gooners and goonettes did not know who they were downvoting. All right? You're going to downvote the B-man on a smut subreddit? Bet your ass. I'm coming for your ass, and I'm coming, and I'm going to state my opinion. All right? I believe my rebuttal is fair, it's accurate, and to the fans of Angie Faith, I am also a fan of Angie Faith. If you can tell me with a straight face that you think she's as hot as she was last year, you're lying. You're lying to your dick. You're lying to Angie. I don't respect you. All right? There were a lot of I leave comments under a lot of smut videos that deserve to get downvoted. All right? And I'll just say, hey, man, you're right. Gooners are often right. But there are times when I'll defend my position in my porn comment, and this is a comment that deserves a defense. Angie Faith, you got to shape up. All right, you got to shape up. You got to hit the gym. You got to lose those calories. You're a hot babe. You're voluptuous. You're curvy. Nobody wants to see you chubby. All right, the guys, the gooners who get off the chubby, those aren't the fans you want. Trust me. Trust the B-man when I say that. And I often don't say trust the B-man, but you don't want gooners, you don't want the chubby gooners being a fan of you. It's a damn shame, though. It's a damn shame when a lady of the smut that you enjoy, her body morphs into a body type that you don't, that you don't get your nut to. And it goes both ways, too. A lot of babes, I like curvy, voluptuous. There are babes who will go super duper skinny. I'm like, I can't fuck with you. You look like you just walked out of Auschwitz. You know, like I don't want to goon to a Holocaust victim. If I see your ribs, it takes Cialis for me to keep it hard. I can't. No. Big jigglers, some curves. But, curves, I like curves, not curves. There is a distinct difference. So, Angie Faith, I'm worried about you. And to the gooners who downvoted me, ratioed me, you better recognize who I am. Oh, if you're wondering, my subreddit username is Meatball Grinder. So if you see a comment from Meatball Grinder on whatever subreddit, downvote me, do know I'm not ashamed of watching smut on Reddit. Right? And if I don't agree with your downvote or your comment underneath my comment, I might just come on Verbal Graffiti and talk about you for 20 minutes. So be careful who you downvote on Reddit. Be careful. All right, moving forward. This next one comes from the subreddit non-monogamy. Sorry, this was supposed to be last episode. All last episode, 224, was going to be all non-monogamy, but my opening about peeing at a urinal and the discomfort I have doing so took a little long. So I only did one Reddit, so that's why we're doing 2 episodes back to back, having to deal with non-monogamy. I can't even get a monogamous relationship, and somehow I'm talking on non-monogamy. Yeah, whatever. All right. It comes from the subreddit non-monogamy. Partner seeing a college student, and I feel sick. Do tell. Edit. We ended up having a long, necessary conversation about boundaries, judgment, values, decision-making. The situation will be ended as little harm possible. Things are going to be ultimately all right. All right, on to the post. My 35-year-old female non-nesting partner, a 43-year-old male, just told me they've started sleeping with someone who is half their age, 21 NB, which I guess is non-binary, a junior in college who asked him out randomly at a bar. Initially, I was shocked, but the shock has worn off into a sense of anger and confusion and sorrow. That's a lot of emotion right there. I don't think this is an acceptable age gap with acceptable power dynamics, no matter how mature the younger party is. They just became able to go to a bar legally. That's what 21 is. They are 2 years out from still being a teenager. Again, that's what being 21 is. My partner insists that they're cool about it and it's fully desired and consensual, and the 21-year-old is taking the lead, but I just keep thinking about how I was when I was 21 and in this situation. I would have been forcing myself to come off as mature and cool and capable enough to handle the situation when absolutely I would not have been. You see, you broke the number 1 rule of non-monogamy. Now, let me reiterate. I've never been in a relationship. Therefore, I've never been in a non-monogamous relationship. Although, to be man, I have had a lot of flings and a lot of open-ended relationships and a lot of we're together, but you do your thing, I do my thing. All right, so maybe I do have a little bit of experience with non-monogamy. So take everything I say seriously, and I am the judge, the jury, the attorneys of all things non-monogamy. Let's get into it. There's one rule of non-monogamy, the first and the only rule that you didn't do outright when you agreed to be in this open relationship. And that's why you're having all these emotions. Let me just be man. What is the number 1 rule? What is the number 1 rule with a non-monogamous relationship? The number 1 rule is you're not allowed to make love with anybody who is more attractive than me. And that goes for both sexes. All right. You're not allowed to have sex with anybody better looking than me. And you're not allowed to have and I'm not allowed to have sex with anybody better looking than you. If you agree to those rules and you don't break that rule, then non-monogamous relationship will prosper. As soon as you break that rule, or heaven forbid, like yourself, do not make that rule, and your partner, your non-nesting boy toy, goes out and gets some sniz that's more attractive than you, you see that as threatening, and it puts your relationship in peril. So you didn't set that rule, therefore, your relationship, it's on shaky ground. You can say you talked it out and things are going to be better, but it's not. And I think you have this all wrong. You have this all wrong. I get it. You should have saw this coming. Yeah, I'm blaming you, the 35-year-old female or 33 or whatever age you were. You should have saw this coming. When you have a non-monogamous relationship, you have to have an honest conversation with yourself about what your lover is capable of. And when I say capable of, I mean they're capable of fucking. Like, who is he able to pull? Or who is she able to pull? See, in your case, you're 35. You're a non-nesting boy toy. He's 43. So there's almost a decade distance between the two of you. So that should have been a sign to you that your boy toy is capable of getting younger babes. Again, you're almost a decade younger. So it's a little hypocritical for you to be complaining or to be upset about your boy toy fucking a 21-year-old college student when you were almost a decade younger than him to begin with. Like, you should have just known outright, oh, this guy, his aura, his vibe, whatever the term that we're using these days, like he has it. Whatever it is, babes are drawn to him. Again, that's probably why he wanted to have a non-monogamous relationship. Generally speaking, the guys who want to have a non-monogamous relationship are the ones able to pull. It's why I don't suggest it, because it's like, I don't really fuck that often. So if I have somebody to fuck, like, I'm not going to suggest, like, hey, let me go fuck somebody. If we open, this is just a joke. Right? It's a hacky joke. Hey, non-monogamous relationship means you fuck other people and I don't. So this ain't about me though. This is about you and the 21-year-old college student. See, a lot of the babes, older babes, and when I say old, I say any babe over the age of 30. And do you know, if you're a babe over the age of 30, you're old. Sorry. Them the breaks. Father time comes for us all. So if you're over 30 as a female, almost to a woman, all you babes do not like older men. And when I say older, I mean over the age of 30, 40, 50, 60 and up, dating a babe in her early 20s and or late teens, heaven forbid. See, you're angry. Your old hags are angry with the old guys that get with the young women. Babes. The anger is justified, but your reasoning is wrong. See, in your mind, as an old hag, and you see an age gap relationship, you're threatened by her appearance, her looks, her fertility. You know, you can say all this stuff about, oh, she's not fully developed. The frontal, prefrontal vortex, whatever that is, the front part of your brain, it doesn't fully develop till you're 25. That's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I'm no smarter now than I was when I was 18. Honestly, I was probably smarter at 21 than I am at 41. When you consider all the alcohol and just all the brain cells I've killed of myself, I was probably smarter. I was definitely more educated. I read a lot more when I was 21 than I am now, although I still am reading the Richard Nixon book. So that's a coping mechanism right there. Oh, you're taking advantage of her, right? She's trying to act cool so that she can, hang out with a 50-year-old guy. Or how old is this guy? 43? But again, that's the appeal of the older man. That power dynamic, that having to act older to be legitimized by a real adult, that's sexy to younger women, or to a subsection of younger women. See, the problem is, you are correct to not approve of that age gap relationship, but the reasoning why is not her looks or her appearance. It's that, or her being taken advantage of. It's that the 21-year-old babe is more fun than you, the old hag lady in a non-monogamous relationship. See, looks and all that, there's things you can do to compete or to stay relevant, but you cannot have as much fun as a 21-year-old lady. Again, you're 35. You have responsibilities. You have a mortgage. You have rent. Maybe you have children. You have a Teams call with your manager at 8 a.m. You can't always go out at a midnight rendezvous every Tuesday and Wednesday night. All right, you probably don't respond to the 1 a.m. text. Are you up? Because you're not. You're sleeping. You're getting your rest for the next day of work. The 21-year-old can do that. Right? She can get up. She can go on a road trip. She can, whatever. You up? Yeah, of course I'm up. I'm watching Rick and Morty in my dorm room. Come get me. The fun a 21-year-old person has is the thing you can't compete with. And that's the reason why, oddly enough, you should be happy. You should be thrilled that your non-nesting boy toy that's nearly a decade older than you is shagging, dicking down, piping, rearranging the insides of this impressionable 21-year-old that he met at a bar. Because again, your boy toy, he's an old hag too. He's even older than you. He's 43. It's actually the best third piece you could have for your boy toy, because he's an old hag. He's not going to be able to keep up with all the concerts and the raves and the nickel nights and the dive bars and all the events she's going to. Like, he can't keep up with her for that long. Maybe till the end of the semester at most. So they'll have a dalliance. He'll get burnt out with the 21-year-old, which is to be expected. And then he'll come running back to you, the old hag, until he finds another, a young fertile sniz to put his penis inside of. So, it's obviously not going to work with the 21-year-old. So you're threatened, but you shouldn't be threatened. This is if he ended up getting with a babe that was a little older than you or a little older than himself, that would be, oh, wow, he might like her more than just her appearance and her youth and her beauty. That's the babe you should be threatened by, not the 21-year-old floozy who's just having a good time. Is that what you want at a non-monogamous relationship? For your partner to have a good time, but not fall in love with the side piece? What else is there to say? Get back at him. Right? I mean, if you're upset, if you're running to Reddit about first of all, I'll end with this. I really don't like the language of your post. How there should be veto power. Like, just because you're in a non-monogamous relationship doesn't mean that you have no say over what your non-nesting boyfriend puts his penis inside of, or what he doesn't put his penis inside of. Like, you have autonomy over your body. And since you're in a relationship, you have autonomy over your boyfriend's body. So just because you have an open relationship, it's okay to put stipulations. Like I started this out in the beginning. Hey, neither of us are allowed to fuck anybody who's more attractive than the two of us. That's the number one rule. But then you could make your own rules. With you, it's age. With him, it might be something else. But just because you don't want to break that equality or the rights that your boyfriend has. No, your boyfriend has no rights. When you agree to a open relationship, you set the boundaries. You set the rules of who and who cannot be fucked by your boyfriend. And if he steps out of pocket and breaks a rule, that's grounds for breakup and or cutting his penis off, whichever you like. So, have some more, be a bit more vocal next time. And there's going to be a next time. Because if your boy toy knows he can get with 21-year-olds, there's going to be others. that are going to threaten your non-monogamous relationship. So be vocal, set boundaries, and tell him that, yeah, your penis is only allowed to go inside of what I think it should be allowed to go inside of. Go suck a fat one.